Today on The Boot Guy, we are looking at the Dickies Cannon Wedge Sole Boot. So if tomorrow, if I was to put out a video, my top 5 boots of 2018 for under 100 bucks, this Dickies Cannon would definitely fall into the top 3. Mainly because of the quality of the leather, the type of sole material that they're using, and the overall comfort of the boot for something that actually falls under 100 bucks. So the upper, 100% leather, and it's a nice heavy leather. Now remember, when I talk about this being a good boot for the price, this isn't something that you're going to buy consecutively over the life of your career in the work world. This is going to be a boot you buy in a pinch. This is going to be the kind of boot that you buy when you're first starting out. Or this is going to be something if you just need safety toe boots for a certain amount of time. That's right, it's a steel toe boot with a wedge sole. It's a blown rubber wedge sole. So that means it's not going to be the most slip resistant sole out there. But what you're going to get is, because it's blown rubber and because it's the really soft material, it's going to be a hell of a comfortable boot for as long as you have it. You know, I always mention that you got to buy your boots the right size, and the Dickies Cannon is one of those boots that when you put it on, because it's such a general fitting boot, it really gives you a good idea on what a boot should feel like with a steel toe. Now, a lot of boots that are under 100 bucks, they usually have very narrow, very tight steel toe boxes. Dickies, on the other hand, they decided to give you a little room in here. It's a very generous steel toe. Now, this is not one of those steel toes that is oblique, which means it's extra wide and whatnot. Dickies just did a really good job of putting the steel toe in the right place that gives a guy a lot of room inside there. Now, since I mentioned the inside of the boot, let's take a look inside. Now, what you're gonna find is a basic polyester lining. This boot is under 100 bucks and it has a waterproof membrane built in. So that means you can actually stand in water for a long period of time and it's not going to come through. That's not to say that the leather's not going to get soaked, that you're not going to have a sopping wet boot. It's just the inside of the boot where your foot is not going to be wet from water. Now, you know I love pulling out the insoles, and when I pulled the insole out of this Dickies, I was not shocked. I was actually, okay, well, there's something there, because most of the time, $100 boots and less, you don't find anything. So it's a basic piece of foam that's put on top of the waterproof membrane in order to protect it from wearing out just from your basic gait of walking around. Nothing really amazing, but with the inside measurements of the boot, with the room that's inside there, you can actually ditch this and buy something a little bit nicer with some support and some cushion and turn this into a really nice, comfortable boot if it's going to be your first boot. Now, if you're going to consider putting insoles inside this, I strongly suggest that you pull this one out. Do not put them on top of each other. Even though this is a thin insole, with the way this boot's constructed, you actually want to have the soft cushion insole fit correctly inside the boot with the heel and the arch. And if you're going to do that, start fresh. Try these on in the shop, try these on at home. If you feel you need to put something in there, do it before you break the boot in 100%, before you shape the footboard and before you shape the welt to the flexes of your foot. Now, something that stands out about the blown rubber EVA outsole is the weight. The pair of these Cannons is really lightweight, and it's all due to the construction, and it's all due to the lighter weight material that they use in the sole. And I guess for a steel toe boot, we shouldn't be shocked that this thing comes in at 3 pounds. So that's the Dickies Cannon industrial steel toe boot that falls in under 100 bucks. Hey, if you've ever worn any of the Dickies boots in the past, please comment below. Let guys know how much wear you got out of a boot like this, and what was the scenario in which you picked a pair of these up your first time. If you want to know more about the Dickies Cannon boot, or if you want to see some detailed photos of this boot, you can swing by to bootguy.com. I'll have all that available in a blog posting titled Dickies Cannon. Hey, please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. It really helps out. And remember, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, you can always follow me there. All week long, I find interesting boots, I take interesting photos, and I put them out there so you guys can see what's going on in the current workwear and work boot industry. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of these Dickies boots, if it's gonna be your first pair of steel toe boots and you just got some questions about where you'll be using it, if it's gonna be the right boot for you, and just about size issues with a steel toe boot, making it your first pair, feel free to shoot me over an email. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.